Sometimes Jinn, depending on how they feel that day, can call out to you and they can sound like one of your relatives or close friends. Then there's the recording angel.
Pause it, bro. Repeat what he said, the very last part.
That angels can call out to you sounding like a relative.
Jinns.
The jinns can call out to you sounding like a relative or friend.
Assalamu alaikum. Let's get right into it.
World religions have many inspiring and uplifting aspects and are known for their ties to the supernatural. And oftentimes these things can seem very scary when you think about them. So we're looking at the religion of Islam again and listing 10 scariest things in Islam. Welcome back to FTD Facts. My name is Leroy Kenton, and this episode more specifically, I'll be looking at certain supernatural beliefs generally held by Muslims that can occur as scary to the majority of people. Now I've been wanting to do this video for a while now, but I'm like, are people gonna be like, I'm trying to insult the religion or not? No, that's definitely not the intention. Just some things that I found fascinating. So with that said, let's just jump right in. Starting at number 10, we have the Jinns. According to Islamic theology, Jinn are invisible entities who roamed the earth before Adam, the first human being, was created. Now, they were created by God out of a mixture of fire or smokeless fire. There are many types of Jinn, including those that can shapeshift, those that can fly, as well as ones that can resemble animals. And now it's been said that the Jinn can see us, but we can't see them. And sometimes your pets can see them, so they start acting really strange, and they'd be staring at something, and you're like, what are you looking at? Having no idea that they can see a Jinn. Now what makes this even scarier is that sometimes Jinn, depending on how they feel that day, can call out to you and they can sound like one of your relatives or close friends. Then there's the recording angels. Karaman Ketibin, or the recording angels, are also another pretty scary thing.
Pause it, bro. Repeat what he said, the very last part.
That angels can call out to you sounding like a relative.
Jinns.
No, Jinn can
The jinns can call out to you sounding like a relative or friend.
Alright, go ahead, bro. That's crazy.
It's my first time hearing about that specifically, so I don't know how authentic it is, and it might be referring to, I don't know, to be honest. I'm not sure. I'm not going to comment on it.
Mm-hmm. Guys, do bear in mind, we're just reacting to this video. He's not a Muslim. I don't think he's a Muslim, so this is just like a non-Muslim's take on the things he's researched.
In Islamic belief. Not that the beings themselves are scary, but what they do can sometimes leave a person terrified depending on what they actually do. So let me explain. So there's two types of recording angels, and they record everything that a person does. Like, I mean everything, and not just like an overview summary of what they did or said, but really a detailed, in-depth report. It's the ultimate biography. So if you think about it, you just look back into your life at all the bad stuff that you've done, whatever it may be, that Karaman Ketibin angels, yeah, they recorded it even though you thought no one saw you or thought no one heard you. And that's what makes this earn a spot on this list. Number 8, we have Dajjal. Now Dajjal is known as the false messiah, so similar to Christian theology, and also known as like a liar or a deceiver. And in the Muslim world, believers say that he will create a lot of destruction by lies and having supernatural powers. Other religions know this as the Antichrist, who will deceive the entire world. Now, not just the fact that Dajjal is believed to be a master deceiver is what makes him creepy, but even the description of him and his appearance can give you nightmares. Like, Dajjal will be blind in one eye. In Islamic tradition, the Prophet Muhammad referred to Dajjal as Al-Awar, which means blind with one eye. Now, the Prophet Muhammad said that Dajjal's right eye would look like a floating grape, and its left eye will be defective in some way. Now, certain Islamic traditions, however, depict Dajjal having one eye, and the biggest fitna, or the testing period, in the history of humanity is associated with Dajjal. Yeah, that's pretty creepy. Next up.
Yeah, I just want to clarify something. When he says that certain Islamic traditions, he's talking about Muslim traditions, because in Islam that's incorrect. We know that Dajjal does not have one eye. He has two eyes. It's just he's blind in one eye.
I thought Fetty Wap was the Dajjal at one point.
This guy, man.
I'm laughing at that, bro.
Bro, he does have like one eye that's just
yeah, bro.
like,
He has that disorder, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, he's blind in one eye, ain't
I think he is, but it's because of a disorder, bro, not because he's Dajjal.
he? Yeah,
But the music industry is Dajjalic.
Yeah.
Let's get back into it.
We have the Munkar and Nakir. Munkar and Nakir in Islamic belief are two angels who test the faith of people who pass away in their graves. According to Al-As-Sunnah, Munkar and Nakir ask a person who dies who is their Lord and what religion they follow and who is the Prophet. And a believer would answer these questions, but an unbeliever cannot answer them. Now, those who are deemed righteous will say, of course, Allah or God, and mention the Prophet Muhammad is a messenger, and they'll be allowed to rest in peace until the final day of judgment. But those who don't answer or answer differently or who don't truly believe will continue being punished like while they're passed away, waiting for the final judgment. Now, it's like that pre-punishment phase. You know, like when you do something really bad and your parents say to you, you know, wait till I get home to deal with you. And you know, that time that you're waiting for your mom or dad to get home to deliver whatever punishment they're going to be delivering, you know, sometimes that period is more punishment than the actual punishment. Now, it may not be that way in this scenario, but the idea that loved ones may not be actually resting in peace can be a pretty scary thought. Next up at number 6, we have the smoke.
Pause.
Okay, so
He made a good point there, but also think of it like this. Like, if anyone thinks kind of weirdly of that, or like they don't want to experience that, like, we're kind of being punished in this life too, if you think about it. Like, there are certain things that we go through where it can be seen as punishment for like something that we've done. It's like we get what we give. So it's like in the grave, it would kind of be no different. And if you were to be punished in the grave, it will kind of be like this. But Allahu Akbar, bro. I just want to throw that in there.
among the major signs mentioned by the Prophet Muhammad is the smoke. And Muslims believe that God refers to this event in the Quran saying this: "Then wait you for the day when the sky will bring forth a visible smoke covering the people. This will be a painful torment." And that's in the Quran, Surah 44, verses 10 to 11. There's also a hadith where the Prophet Muhammad said, "Verily your Lord has warned you concerning 3 matters. The smoke that overtakes the believer like a cold and overtakes the disbeliever and makes him swollen until it comes out of his ears." So just imagine for a moment, it's all pitch black, you can't see anything, and you're coughing, you're not able to breathe properly, and your body starts swelling up, and you're in so much pain, and you can't make it stop. Very creepy. Halfway into number 5, we have earthquakes. So we all know the effects that an earthquake can have, and what makes them so destructive is that no matter what structure you've built on land, it's no match for an earthquake. It definitely will collapse. Not to mention that earthquakes in large bodies of water are known to cause tsunamis. Now in the Hadith Bukhari volume 9 book 88, it says, "The hour will not be established till earthquakes will increase in number." So when you take a look at the stats, between the 11th century to the 18th century, there have been 64 earthquakes, right? And in the 19th century, there have been 47 earthquakes, and in the 20th century, there have been approximately 319 earthquakes, and then in the 21st century, there has been approximately 380 earthquakes. So earthquakes definitely vary in magnitude, and not all of them are deadly. However, Muslims believe that we are living in the end time signs right now, since the increase of earthquakes is believed to be a major sign of the end in Islam. Yet no one is certain how much more the frequency of earthquakes will increase, or even how much their severity will increase. Okay,
Guys, watch our video on the Euphrates River. Like, the end is near. It's not in my place, but if at the times of the Prophet ﷺ it was already established that the end is near, what do you think? In 1400 years, we're going to be farther away? No, we're getting closer.
Yeah. One thing I want to correct that he said is he said it's a major sign. It's not a major sign, it's a minor sign, just to be as technical as possible. But yeah.
Yeah. And guys, sign up to our Patreon. What are you doing? Sign up to the Patreon. Come on now.
There we go.
Moving on down to number 4, we have the Angels of Death. So let's get into this one. Naziat and Nashitat are 2 classes of death angels that are subordinate to Azrael, who is the Archangel of Death. Now these angels are responsible for taking the souls of those who pass away. Naziats are ordered to take the lives of unbelievers by force, and the Nashitats take their life away gently. So the question always is are you going to go swift and painless, or is it going to be slow and painful? That's a creepy thought. Number 3 brings us to Iblis. Now Iblis in Islam is the...
He said Ezreal?
That's not his name.
What's his name?
He said is Israel or something like that.
Azrael or something like that.
No, but he doesn't have a name in Islamic sources. There's nothing authentic that calls him that. He's just Malik al-Maut, just the Angel of Death.
Okay, so I was about to say, like, Azrael, like, I heard that in Diablo 3, the video game. So, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know where this man's getting his sources from.
But let me tell you this, bro. I don't doubt that you heard it in the video game. There is a series by this YouTuber called Rational Believer, and they came out with the series called the Satan series, talking about the music industry, talking about the dark sides of feminism, video games, and all that, movies, right? So I started watching them, and they're blowing up. They're getting like 500K per video views, and they're getting removed now because this is content that the system doesn't like, that Iblis doesn't like. But anyway, my point is there's a video they made on video games. And bro, you will be insanely astounded when you watch that video on all the video games we played as kids, like Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, and how they literally have Qurans placed in different areas, the anti-Islamic rhetoric. Like, you will be mind blown at the propaganda, how subtle it is. Because I thought music industry was sus. I thought, the system was sus, media was sus. But bro, wait till you watch the video game video. It's insane.
Jeez, bro.
Maybe we'll react to that one day, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah.
Name of the devil, which is a counterpart to the Jewish and Christian Satan. Now he's a demonic creature, and he runs wild on humanity to spread evil and misery, and in some cases the name Shaitan is used to refer...
Quick correction, because I believe that in Christianity they believe that Satan is an angel.
Yeah.
And I just want to quickly clarify that he is not. He is a jinn, right? But Satan, or not Satan, Jinn is more like, or Satan is more like the common noun, right? And Iblis is like the proper noun, just for everyone to clarify that.
Refer to Iblis specifically. Now, the time of creation, God ordered the angels to bow down in obedience before Adam, and Iblis refused, saying that he was better because he was created from fire and Adam was created out of clay. So because he acted so prideful and disobeyed God's commandments, God threw Iblis out of heaven, and his punishment was postponed until the day of judgment. And Iblis, who became the ruler of the Jinn and also became a Jinn himself, he tempts people to do evil. And according to some Islamic beliefs, apparently only animals like donkeys can see Iblis, and Iblis sometimes appear as a human form to carry out certain tasks like recruiting other followers. So yeah, you may run into someone on the street and could be the devil.
I don't know how authentic the donkey thing is, and Iblis never became a jinn. Iblis was always a jinn.
I was about to say, bro, like, I'm about to get myself a donkey, boy.
Yeah, screw metal detectors or radiographs or anything. We gotta get a donkey, bro. We gotta go.
That's all you need, bro. The donkey.
Yeah, we go
the ass.
2 is Jinn possession. So I spoke about Jinn before, right, in this episode. Now, it's one thing to see a Jinn and to hear one, but it's another thing to be under the control of one. Now, not all Jinn are evil according to popular Islamic belief. However, the scariest thing about the Jinn who are evil is that they can actually possess human beings. Oftentimes, people who are possessed by Jinns may not necessarily be in a whole lot of pain or look like how people look in the movies. However, individuals may get super angry or feel like they're forced to act in a certain way without being able to stop themselves. So exorcisms gotta happen. You gotta go through that whole process, and some possessions definitely are very violent, where people's eye colors change and other physical changes happen in their body. definitely creepy. And the final scariest thing in the religion of Islam is hell or Jahannam is the ultimate punishment for non-believers. After the disbeliever is no longer under the punishment of Munkar and Nakir, their punishment will then continue in hell. But this time, they'll be alive and fully able to experience their punishment. Hell is described as being extremely boiling hot, and the suffering will continue for disbelievers as long as God sees fit. And it's said that despite the intense physical pain experienced in hell, the worst of all the torments is people's separation from God. Alright guys, so those were 10 of the scariest things.
Man, but may Allah guide brother Leroy, because he's been making videos about Islam since older than a lot of you fellas have been alive.
Yeah.
And come on, man, just take the step, bro. What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
If you are watching this, by all means.
Yeah. Inshallah, may Allah guide him.
Nah, he said that
Mhm.
the worst thing is not the pain in hell or the suffering, but the fact that you're separating from Allah. But if you think about it, the disbelievers are kind of in a state of separation in this life, which, I mean, if you think about it, that's why they're experiencing such psychological dis-ease and such spiritual and emotional dis-ease.
Yeah.
I'll say this, bro. I think that they're separated and unseparated at the same time. They're internally, like their ruh, their soul, their spirit, their fitra, it's still connected to Allah. Because it's still calibrated. It's just a little uncalibrated, but it still has those factory settings. And Allah will still guide you and forgive you if you weren't so stupid and would just repent. So in that sense, you are connected. But the disbelievers are not connected in the sense that, ego-wise, like mentally, rationally, they're just like, they form these walls. And if you have a distance between yourself and Allah, you got to ask who moved. It's not Allah moving away from you. It's you, right? So
yeah. I don't know how accurate what he said at the end was, but it doesn't make sense. And the only thing that comes to mind is in hell, the disbelievers will call out to Allah, but the angels will respond. At least in this life, even if a non-Muslim asks Allah for something, Allah might listen to that dua and accept it. Allah might, even for a non-Muslim. But in the next life, Allah won't even, as far as I know, Allah won't even respond to them.
Yeah.
I don't even think in the next life, but I think like when like sun rises from the west, bro, like even in this dunya, it's too late.
Yeah, it's too late.
Y'all remember when I had mentioned that like we don't know where we're going, whether that be heaven or hell, but like internally we have it's almost like we have a feeling, like an idea. Like again, like Allah is the one that's gonna decide, but like we have that internal thing that like almost kind of indicates to us in what direction we're heading in. And it's like, bro, like everything we said right now it kind of like cements what I said before, where it's like, all right, you have a disbeliever. They are in dis-ease spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally because they are in a state of separation. Now, Faiyads said their factory settings, it's still there with Allah. So they're kind of still connected, but not fully disconnected. But like, look at that, just that slight disconnection that they're experiencing, and look at the suffering that they're experiencing because of that. And then it's like, if what I said is true, Allahu Alam, if that's showing them like, look, this is the direction you're heading in, and they don't change anything, and then the time comes, and then Allah basically decrees for them, okay, you're going to be in hell now. Well, now they've fully disconnected. Now it's like, nah, they didn't have like some glimpse of hope with the factory settings and being able to go back to Allah. Now it's like, hey, it's a little too late now. And now it's like the suffering that they experienced while on earth, when they were just getting that little bit of separation from the Creator, now it's going to be like times 100 when they're in Jahannam, bro. So,
and brother, what you're saying is facts, man. We got Jummah soon, all three of us, inshallah. So I don't want to, forget the akhirah for the dunya now with this recording. But I want to end off on that final piece of advice to all of you, that what Anghel was saying is facts. Only Allah can judge. But late at night when you're going to sleep, you know if you're sleeping peacefully or not. And there's only three types of people. One, you're sleeping peacefully because you know that you did everything that you could or strive to be the best. And if you're taken to Allah, you just want to meet your Creator sooner. And number two, you got people that are kind of like, they kind of know they've been living a life of sin. You know what I mean? But they've taken the steps to like retract that. They've repented. They're in the process of repenting and they want to turn back to Allah. So may Allah bless the first and the second people immensely. And then there's the third category of people that they don't care. They have no remorse. They got no shame. But may Allah still guide these people. I mean, because they might be ignorant. And may Allah protect them and forgive them if they're arrogant.
I mean. All right.
All right.
And with that being said, Allahumma atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhab an-nar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
You gotta do it, bro.
All three of us.
Say Bismillah, bro. What are you doing?
Bro, it's in my head, man. Stuff.
There you go. I like that. I like that.
I think there's another thing too. It's the perseverance aspect too. Like we're more willing to stick through with things that we set out with an intention.
It's impossible to have empathy for others if you're not patient. So may Allah bless you for that.
First off, I'm gonna agree with the fact that the whole thing you said about friends, where it's like if they're affecting you more than you're affecting them, then you should probably get some new friends.
You want to be investing stocks, shares, bonds. You want to be investing in crypto because there's this thing called inflation, which means every year that passes by, the value of a dollar goes lower and lower and lower. And the reason being is because they're printing more money, right? That's why money is haram. At least the paper money is haram.
Provided that you're actually there and you're being a good father and the mother's being a good mother, best conditions.
And behind the mic, Hamza, Andreas, Zortzis, we will go in with our final three with brother Anghel, inshallah.
Inshallah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
It's not just a responsibility on you, it's responsibility on all the children, especially your father.
In our private area is very elastic, and yeah, if you go too fast, the skin will literally crease up into like the edge of like the little clipper things, and you will literally clip your skin. You don't want to be on YouTube or the internet or anything that amount of time, but it's the fact is that's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.